Okay, so today we're doing the verb είμαι in Greek. The verb είμαι is the most simple verb in Greek. It means I am. And you should know that it's also the infinitive form of the verb, meaning that you can say είμαι and mean be, but you can say εγώ είμαι and mean I am. So it means both of these things. Maybe it's a bit confusing, but you will find that it's quite useful because you don't need to remember infinitive form and first pronoun form in Greek. So εγώ είμαι means I am, and it's one of the passive verbs, which means that the action returns to the pronoun. You will find this useful later on when we will learn about the endings of passive verbs versus the endings of active verbs. So the suffix of passive verbs ends in these three letters here, mi, alpha, iota, me. So we have the first person singular εγώ είμαι and εσύ είσαι. The second person singular means you are. Notice that here the ending is different. So εγώ είμαι, εσύ είσαι get a different ending. So the same goes for the third person singular, αυτός είναι, he is. Again, there is a different ending here. But you will not notice that the other persons, so here, αυτή είναι, αυτό είναι, get the similar endings. So αυτή είναι, αυτό είναι, have similar endings. So here we have three persons that are the same. And then we have είμαστε, είσαστε, and of course the αυτή είναι, which is the last person. So let's go from the beginning. Εγώ είμαι, I am. Εσύ είσαι, you are. Αυτός είναι, he is. Αυτή είναι, she is. Αυτό είναι, it is. Εμείς είμαστε, we are. Εσείς είσαστε, you are. Αυτοί είναι, they are. So to conclude here, let's see the two things we've said that are very important. First of all, εγώ είμαι is the same as the infinitive form of the verb, so you just say είμαι for infinitive, but you can also delete the pronouns completely and say είμαι, είσαι, είναι. Like if you want to say I am George, you can say εγώ είμαι ο George. Okay, so we have εγώ είμαι, αυτός είναι, αυτή είναι, αυτό είναι. We see that these three pronouns here and the last one get the same verb, the same endings in the verb, the same suffixes, which is quite useful to remember because you will see that later on when we do passive verbs, it's very useful to remember that these three are always the same, with the exception of this one, which is the same just in this case. Okay, so let's see also the negation and question of the verb είμαι. I thought I should include this because probably you're beginners in Greek and well, negation is very, very simple, so we're not going to mention it again because it's the same for all the verbs, same as question formation, but let's look at it. Let's have a look at it just for this verb. So to just form the negation, so to say I am not, we just basically add then, and this goes for all the verbs in Greek and all the forms and all the tenses. So, εγώ δεν είμαι, I am not, εσύ δεν είσαι, you are not, αυτός δεν είναι, he is not, αυτή δεν είναι, she is not, αυτό δεν είναι, it is not, εμείς δεν είμαστε, we're not, εσείς δεν είσαστε, you're not, αυτοί δεν είναι, they are not. Okay, so you just add then, and it means just not. So if you want to say εγώ δεν είμαι δάσκαλος, which means teacher, you can say I am not. Εγώ δεν είμαι. Okay, so let's go to the question formation here, which is quite simple again because it's the same as in English and you just reverse the verb with the pronoun. So instead of I am, εγώ είμαι, you have είμαι εγώ. So you just reverse it. And here I thought I should add an example. Anthropos. This is a noun and it means am I human? είμαι εγώ άνθρωπος. Also notice here that I've written the S, the ending in red, and I've done this to just get your attention to the fact that when you have the S in Greek and it's in the end of the word, then it turns into this symbol right here. So it doesn't remain like the normal S, it turns into the ending S that we have in Greek, and it's very, very, very important to do that, because if you don't, well, it's not correct, and it also seems very unnatural. Okay, so let's go from the beginning. Είμαι εγώ άνθρωπος, just reverse the pronoun with the verb. Είσαι εσύ άνθρωπος, είναι αυτός άνθρωπος, είναι αυτή άνθρωπος, είναι αυτό άνθρωπος, είμαστε εμείς άνθρωποι, είσαστε εσείς άνθρωποι, είναι αυτοί άνθρωποι. Also notice that here in the ending of the noun, we have the suffix omicro iota. This suffix is used for plurals. So when it's an adjective or a noun and you want to signify that I'm talking for many people at once, you add this plural suffix in the end of the word, and which could be adjective or noun, and that's basically the whole rule to it. You just add this suffix, which means that we're talking about many individuals at once. Okay, so moving on now, we're going to see some examples of what we've just been talking about. So here we have the first examples. I think I fast forward the presentation too much, but let's see it. So let's practice. Εγώ είμαι καλά means I am well. So I've added more information for you just to learn a few words, a few basic phrases. If somebody asks you είσαι καλά, which means are you okay, you're gonna answer εγώ είμαι καλά. Or as we've said, you just can delete the εγώ and just go είμαι καλά, which means I'm well. Εσύ δεν είσαι καλά. Notice here that we've used then, so not, you're not well. Αυτός είναι χάλια, which means he's a mess. So χάλια is used if you really think that this guy, well, he looks like a mess. And αυτή είναι μια χαρά. She is just fine. Αυτό είναι καλό. In Greek, αυτό, so it's only used for objects, so for inanimate things. So it's not normal to say it is good, and because αυτό also means this is good, you can use it as, you basically use it as this is good. So you only use it and you mean that this is good. So moving on now, εμείς είμαστε πολύ καλά. We're very well. Here I've just omitted the very well, but I should have written it. But you've got it right in the beginning. So πολύ καλά, it means very well. And εσείς είσαστε λυπημένοι, which means you are sad. Notice here that again, because it's a plural form, we add the omicro iota in the end. The singular form is just lipimenos, so you will notice that the singular form in Greek, if it's masculine, it always ends in omicro s, os. So here the lipimenos became lipimeni, you're sad. And of course we have the last example. Αυτή είναι χαρούμενη. Again, it's a plural form, so again we have omicro iota in the end, and it means they're happy. Okay, so that's it for the presentation. Thank you for watching. I hope you've noted down some of the things we've stated. If not, you can always just rewind and go back and see how the verb είμαι is conjugated. I think it's really simple. We've also mentioned a few other things, like a bit of plural and a bit of how the negation and the question formation is made, which we're gonna see again in other videos, but I thought that because it's a very simple verb, I should just incorporate a few other things. Doesn't mean that you have to memorize everything, but at least for the email, I think it's very simple. Have fun learning Greek. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one.